Om. Om. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tatpamatsyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Shruti-smriti-purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat-pada Shankaram Loka-shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhasha Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Okay, Hariom everybody. My bookmark is on 499, correct? Okay. So we are in the portion where the disciple has realized his own self. He has realized his oneness with Brahman, which immediately makes him realize that the self in him is the self in all. Immediate realization is there that he is not inside the body, but the body is inside of him. And not only is he supporting the body, this body, individual body, but he is actually supporting the entire universe. He is the rope and no longer is afraid of the snake, because as far as the rope is concerned, the snake never existed and never will. And that's where he is at. Now, again, the snake example comes. I told you way early in this text, snake and rope can never be forgotten, discarded, ever, always to be kept near your chest, you know, snake and rope. So here Bhagwan Shankaracharya, that's his favorite example, snake and rope. Aropitam nashrayadooshakam bhavet kadapi mudhairati dosha dushitaihi nadri karotyu sharabhumi bhagam marichikavari mahapravaha. He's using another example here. That which is superimposed by supremely ignorant fools, vimudaha, those who have done foolishness in PhD in foolishness, can never sully the substratum. The great onrush of waters perceived in a mirage can never wet the desert tract. So idea is that he has now come to realize that this world is superimposed on him. Like he is the one that is supporting, and those of us, of ignorant people who look at the world as real, are superimposing, and that superimposition can never taint me. See, our experiences, this world is making me happy, this world is making me sorrowful. That is our experience, right? And belief and faith. I think he did this way, therefore I'm unhappy, and she did that way, therefore I'm happy. And so our entire blame game or credit giving is to the world. And now he is saying that I being the substratum, he or she, we don't know, I being the substratum, this superimposition means this world can never make me happy, can never make me sorrowful. It cannot taint me, it cannot touch me in any way. Just like, even though no matter how much water I see on that desert sand, it is not going to wet the sand. How much snake I see on the rope, the snake can never poison the rope. Never, ever. Okay, this is what he said. There's an example he gives. He's used marichika. Marichika is this mirage waters. In this is the same, exactly same. Person walking in the desert sees water and rushes towards it because he's very thirsty on a hot day, comes to realize that it was just a play of the sunlight on the sand. But without the sand, that water would never have been seen. The sand is the substratum of the water. But even though I see the water can never touch the sand, just like the snake can never touch the rope, and the world can never touch me. Right now, my experience is that this world is constantly touching me, either touching me by, it makes me happy or it makes me sad. And that's the relationship that I have with the world. But he has come to realize that this is not possible. आकाशवल्लेपविदूरगोऽहम् आदित्यवद्भास्य विलक्षणोऽहम् आहार्यवन्नेत्यविनिश्चलोऽहम् अम्भोदिवत्वात् पारविवर्जितोऽहम्. Like space, I am beyond contamination. Like the sun, I am distinct from things illumined. Like the mountain, I'm always motionless. Like the ocean, I am limitless. So 4 examples are being given to indicate to us, like space, I'm beyond contamination. See, space, even we spit in, we actually spit in space, but that spit doesn't contaminate the space. It contaminates the air. Maybe it contaminates the earth also, because when you spit on the ground, but space remains ever untouched. Any kind of bad odor, it is not affecting space at all. And the reason is because of its infinite nature. Space is infinite. That's the most infinite thing that we can infer. We cannot see space, but we infer, and we know that there is that much space. Therefore, when they say there are so many thousand suns or so many galaxies, immediately you know that there is space, because without space, where the galaxies would have been held. So he says, nothing can touch me. He already said nothing can touch me. So like space, I remain uncontaminated. There is no contamination. The sun is also uncontaminated by whatever good or bad is done in that sunlight. The sun, I've given you this example before. There is sunlight, there is a robbery happening, there is a satsang happening. Somebody is going to the temple, somebody is going to the bar, but the sun never gets credit or demerit. Papa and punya doesn't go to the sun. The sun only illumines. So this person, this disciple who has realized himself to be the final illuminator, the final sakshi, says, in my presence, everything is happening. Whatever is happening doesn't touch me. So I don't get papa and I don't get punya either. And that is what is meant by I'm not the seer, doer. And that is also what we'll touch upon it, where Bhagavan says that there are these 5 things for karma, and one of them is doer. But this person has realized that I am not that small I, that doer. I am the illuminator, and therefore there is nothing that can touch me. Then, like the mountain, I am nishchala, achala. Nishchala word is there are 2 words, nishchala and achala. Both mean motionless. But in Sanskrit, again, like I told you, it being a very refined language, motionless, we say motionless. We say tree also is motionless, and we say mountain also is motionless, because tree also cannot move from one place to another. But the thing is, in the tree, there is movement within itself. The branches move, the leaves fall, So within itself, there is a movement, and that movement is known as achala in Sanskrit. And when it says nishchala, then it is like mountain. So mountain within itself also, there is no movement. So both are motionless. They cannot move from one place to another, but within the tree, there is movement. Within the mountain, there is no movement. And that is what is a nishchala. And limitless, apara. We have seen that ocean is also compared to a realized master is compared to an ocean, because if you stand on one side of the ocean, like if you stand Spanish banks, you cannot see the other end. So it's very, very apara, no boundaries, infinite. And also because of its depth, the ocean is very, very deep and very, very calm within. Inside it's very calm. We see the waves on top, but inside the ocean is very calm. So that way the realized master is very, very calm inside. Outside you may see a lot of activity, or you may see talking or laughing or eating, whatever actions you see on the outside, within he's very, very deep and steady, still. That is what this is giving comparison. न मे देहेन सम्बन्धः मेघेनेव विहाय सः अतः कुतो मे तद्धर्मा जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्तयः. I am not in the, I have no relationship with the body, just as the clouds have no connection with the sky. So how can the waking, dream, and deep sleep states, attributes of the body, ever affect me? So this in chapter 18, verse 66, Bhagwan says, Sarva dharman paritejya mamekam sharanam vraja. So the dharma of the body, this is what he's saying here. Similar, that I have got nothing to do with the body. So the body, whatever is the dharma of the body, doesn't concern me. It is not me. So the body undergoes the 6 modifications. It's got nothing to do with me. I have no someone, I have no connection with the body at all. This is what he's saying. He's realized, this is a realized master speaking, okay, not us. We think we are the body, so we get upset. Anything happens to the body, we get upset. And another example, like the clouds do not contaminate the sky. There is no sky, but we see the clouds in the sky, but they do not touch the sky in any way. And so, ata kutome tad dharma, their dharmas. So that's why the dharma of the body, how it can touch me, means body is born. How can I be born? Body will decay, grow, have disease. It's the dharma of the body. That's got nothing to do with me. This is exactly what Bhagwan will say. He'll say, leave those dharmas and come to me. That's what he means there. We'll be talking about it when we come to that, but I'm just telling you. And the 3 states that I experience, waking, dream, and deep sleep states, I am a witness to all those 3, and I am present in all 3. I am not the waker. So the dharma of the waker doesn't affect me, because if I say I'm the waker, if the waker is really real, quote unquote, then the waker can never become a deep sleeper. The waker can never become a dreamer, because the state cannot change. If it is changing, it is false. It is an illusion. And so he says the dharmas of the waker. So what is the dharma of the waker? The waker is, fully alert, maybe fully alert, extremely intelligent, maybe dull, maybe whatever in the waking state. That has got nothing to do with me. So a person says, I'm extremely intelligent. It's got nothing to do with me. It is because the person is awake, and, so it has got nothing to do with me. This is what it means. Dreamer, whatever dream is happening, we can see that. The dream, we think it is real, but it's after we wake up, we know it is an illusion. The tiger, even if he was in my dream, he could not have hurt me in any way. After I wake up, I come to know that. And in deep sleep, all the senses are folded, but I am present. Why do I know I am present in deep sleep? Because when I wake up, I myself say, somebody else doesn't tell me, oh, you slept really well. I know that I slept very well. And therefore that big I is there in all the 3 states. And that I am the big I who is illumining all these 3 states. So what I'm illumining the body, and I've got nothing to do with the body. So whatever is happening with that body, like last time, upadhi, a blind person, what happens to nothing happens to consciousness. Nothing happens. Upadhi will go blind, go deaf. People can't smell sometimes, they have some surgery in the brain, then they can't smell, can't taste. Maybe some people, it's got nothing to do with consciousness. That's what he's saying. It's got nothing to do with me. Body, that is dharma of the body, going blind, having good vision, not having good vision, having good hearing, not having good hearing, nothing to do with me. Okay, and this is me with a capital M, not the ego. If the real identity, our real identity would have been, like I said, of the waker, we could never have gone into dreamer. We could not have also known the changes. We are something other than the waker, other than the dreamer, other than the deep sleeper. That's why I know that I have gone through these three steps, these three stages. That's why I come to know. If I was only them, then I would not remember my waking state. I would go into dream. I would become the dreamer. I don't become the dreamer. Do I become the dreamer? No, no. The state moves. And because there is a witness, after I wake up, I come to know. I went to sleep. I was awake. I went to sleep. And then I went into dream. And then I went again into deep sleep and I woke up. So that is how it is. उपाधिरायाति स एव गच्छति स एव कर्माणि करोति भुङ्क्ते स एव जीर्यन् म्रियते सदाहं कुलान्द्रिवन्निश्चल एव संस्थितः. It is the conditioning which comes, and that alone which goes. It performs actions and experiences the results. It alone decays and dies. I remain immovable like the Kula mountain. Again, this is Nishchala, Kulandri, but Nishchala, I told you, Nishchala like the mountain, Achala like the tree, both is motionless. In one, within the tree there is motion, within the mountain there is no motion. And what he's saying is, it is the conditioning. So it is the body. Body comes, body goes. Body becomes old, body becomes diseased, body has decay, body has pain, body has all kinds of things, but nothing to do with me. So the body acts also, body speaks also, body listens also, but nothing to do with me. It alone decays and dies. The body dies, decays. I don't decay. I'm not going to die. This is what this is. I remain immovable. Nothing can shake me. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, once the person realizes, even the greatest of sorrows don't shake him. Don't shake him. Because you see, if I were to give you the lighthouse example, he has become like the lighthouse. So the waves can lash against the lighthouse, but the lighthouse doesn't budge at all. Unlike the log of wood. न मे प्रवृत्तिर्न च मे निवृत्तिः सदैकरूपस्य निरंशकस्य एकात्मको यो निबिडो निरन्तरः व्योमेव पूर्णः स कथं नु चेष्टते. There is neither engaging in work nor abstaining from it. Pravritti, nivritti. For me, who am always the same and without parts, how can that which is one, unbroken and infinite like the sky, ever strive? This, understand it in the light of verse 18, chapter 4. Action in inaction and inaction in action. So he knows that even when there is actions going on, there is a substratum which is not acting at all. And therefore he says, where is the question of me engaging? I don't engage. I only illumine the engaging. I only illumine the withdrawal. If I say, no, I don't want to work, it is the body, it is the doer, which is the Chidabhasa. Because here Chit and Chidabhasa Vivek is perfected. Vivek between Sat and Asat is absolutely perfect. So he knows whatever actions are happening are being done by the Chidabhasa, which is itself Asat, which itself is Mithya. This Pravritti and Nivritti also will come in chapter 18. Bhagavan will there say, as spiritual seekers, we must be very aware of when to engage and when to disengage. We must know our place. Okay, this is not my time to speak. This is not my place to speak. This is not, and that Vivek, that is also Viveka. When to engage, when to disengage, That is discrimination. That also has to be perfected. When I talk, what I talk, who I talk to, what I don't talk, all that viveka has to come. But here, because he has realized, that is for us as spiritual seekers, we should know. But for him, he says it's got nothing to do with me. Okay, this is what this is. Punyani papani nirindriyasya nishchetaso nirvikriter nirakritehe kuto mama khanda sukhanubhutehe brute yananva gatamityapi shrutihi. How can there be merits and demerits for me, who have no sense organs, no mind, who am without modification and form, who am the realization of absolute bliss? In the passage, not touched, etc., Shruti also mentions this. So this is coming from Upanishad. When you realize yourself to be the rope, if some person thinks that the snake bit me, what has got the rope to do with it? The rope never even acknowledged the snake. Or same sun, you can do papa also in sunlight, you can do punya also in sunlight. Or like a cab driver also, the cab driver picks up a fare, one fare says take me to the temple, then from the temple there might be a person who says now take me to a bar. And the cab driver is not getting merit or demerit for that. He's only doing his duty. His duty is to, wherever the passenger tells him to take. He's only doing his duty as a cab driver. He doesn't get punya. It is similar to the priest. When we call a priest to do puja, say Satyanarayan puja you want to do, or whichever puja, and the priest is invited and the yajman is there, the priest actually who is doing the puja is priest, because he is chanting all the mantras and he's telling you do this, do that, do that. But the punya never goes to the priest. The punya always comes to the yajman. That is how it is. So the priest does, but he doesn't get. He's only a go-between, you know. So the priest never gets the punya. Punya will come to the yajman. Okay. So he says that this papa and punya, I do not, if I don't do anything only, then how papa will come or how punya will come? Both cannot come to me. Both cannot come to me. Because I am without modification. We have seen these words, nirakara, formless. I told you it's formless because it is supporting all the forms. So Brute, tell me how will I, you know, this is what Shruti says also, that I remain untouched. So no matter whether pap is happening or punya is happening, it's got nothing to do with me. Chayaya sprishtamushnam va shitam va sushtu dushtu va nasprashyateva yat kinchit purusham tad vilakshanam. If the shadow of a man is touched by heat or cold, good or evil, it does not in the least affect the man who is other than his shadow. This also has come previously. Chaya kaya viveka. Chaya kaya viveka it is called. Chaya shadow, kaya body. And I've given you this, Gurudev also has given this example. You're walking on the street and your shadow is there and the truck goes over it, or somebody comes and spits on the shadow. The dog might come and urinate on that shadow or something. Anything can happen, especially in India, you know, you walk and anything can happen. Then, yeah, it's possible. Do you get mad? Do you get mad at the truck? What do you mean you went over my shadow? You don't. It's nothing, because you see there the discrimination is complete, that is my shadow. Nothing is happening to me. That dog urinated on that shadow. Not if you did do it on me, I'd be angry. But the realized master has this discrimination between his own body and chit. And I am chit. He says, I am chit. What is this body got to do? Bhikshu Gita, if you have read from Bhagavad, this one comes there, where he realizes that he's a loan shark and he was so cruel to the people in the beginning, but somehow because of his purva punya gained in past lives, he realizes, and then he becomes a bhikshu and the people think he's a hypocrite. So to test his patience, they go do it, all kinds of things they do to him, but he remains unaffected. This is that Vivek which he has completed. He says they're doing it to my shadow. What is it got to do with me? Let them do whatever they want to do. Let them do. because they think he cannot change like overnight, how from a loan shark and that to a cruel one. He was very, and then now suddenly you're telling me you're a sadhu? No way. But his discrimination is perfected. This is what it is. So whether it is heat or cold or whatever, nothing, no. Okay. The realized master always treats his body like his own shadow, like we would treat our real shadow, that way. न साक्षिणं साक्ष्यधर्माः संस्पृशन्ति विलक्षणम् अविकारमुदासीनं ग्रहधर्मा प्रदीपवत्. The witness is not affected by the properties of things observed, for it is distinct from them. It is without modification and indifferent, just as the properties of a room do not affect the lamp that illumines it. Sakshi, sakshat ikshate iti sakshi. Sakshat ikshate, sees, sakshat, direct. When there is a direct perception of something, we call that person as a witness. Now, a person who is witnessing never gets involved with that, whatever that he's witnessing, and therefore in a court of law, a witness statement stands. So the witness says, yes, did you see these two people fighting? Yes, I saw these two people fighting. This guy hit that guy, or that guy hit that guy. But the witness is not a part of whatever that he witnessed. So he is different. Vilakshana word, it means different. So here he says, na sakshanam saksha dharmaha, the witness is not affected. So if there is a fight going on, I'm just witnessing it, that fight is not affecting me because the witness is never a part of whatever that is happening. So he says, just as the witness doesn't get affected by anything, I am only a witness of everything. I told you, remember this subtle point, that when we call this Jivatma Sakshi, it indicates that there is something to be witnessed. That's why it is called Sakshi. Sakshi and pure consciousness is one and the same, but the word changes from pure consciousness. When you say pure consciousness or Brahman, there is absolutely nothing then. It is total Advaita. But when you say Sakshi, then there is this Mithya world which is being witnessed. Okay, it is Mithya. The world is Mithya, but it is being witnessed. If the Sakshi gets affected by the world, he is Jiva. He's Jivatma. If he doesn't get affected by the world, he's Sakshi or Ishvara. That is the difference between Jivatva and Ishvaratva. They are the same entity. Jiva, Ishvara, Aikya is there. They are the same. Okay. But I've given you this example very many times. I am only standing, but when my children are standing in front of me, I become a mother. When my parents are standing in front of me, I become a daughter. I'm the same person. I am the same. Same way, Jivatma, Ishvara are one. Jiva and Ishvara are one. But when the Jiva gets affected by the world, he is Jivatma. When he does not get affected by the world, and world includes body, mind, intellect. World, remember that. World means not this world and this is no. We are talking of Jivatma and Ishvara. So when he doesn't get affected by the world, he's Ishvara. Therefore, spiritual seekers, we must remain in the position of Ishvara. We know this now. And in the beginning, we will have to force ourselves to do it. Force ourselves. That is the whole idea of repetition, that it becomes second nature to us, that immediately when things happen, we immediately move back into the Ishvaratva position and remain unaffected. That is the whole idea of study. Why are we studying all this? We are spiritual seekers. We have not reached, right? This is why it is very important to know Jiva and Brahma are one. Even in now chapter 18, and I'll be explaining that again. The doer and Chit are one and the same. But when the doer thinks that I am doing, he's Jiva. When he knows that I am only witnessing, he becomes Paramatma. It's just a thought. Switch in thought. That's it. Vedanta is only a switch in thought. There's nothing to be changed externally. Nothing is going to change. Body is not going to change. It is going to age. It is going to die. Everything is going to happen. Whatever is supposed to happen to the body, it's going to happen. But the thought can be controlled. And that is what we have to do. Therefore, here he says, I am avikara and udasina. Ut asina. Udasina. We have seen this word many times in Bhagavad Gita. Ut asina. Asina sitting. Ut above. I sit above. Above what? Above joy, above sorrow, above like, above dislike. I'm above. So I'm safe. Okay, joy came. Okay, fine. Sorrow came. Okay, fine. When I can do that, then I am Ishvara. When I get joy, happy, then depressed, in sorrow, then I'm Jiva. Same entity. Just like same entity becomes mother, same entity becomes daughter. Mother and daughter are two opposite things. But yeah, same entity becomes. Don't become, just be. That is Vedanta. Just be. Don't become. We are trying to become happy. We are trying. We are trying to become healthy. When I try to become healthy, that doesn't mean you don't take care of your body. But if I think by becoming healthy, I am the one that is illumining health and disease both at the same time. That is what I am. I am not this healthy body, neither am I the diseased body. I'm the one that is illuminating both. That has to be kept in mind. Graha dharma pradipa, like example given, the room, whatever, maybe there is garbage in the room. Maybe there is altar in the room. The light is not affected. I can keep garbage in this room. I've got my altar in the wood. Light is not, light is only illumining. That light I am. Raveryatha karmani sakshi bhavaha vanheryatha daha niyamakatvam rajjoryatha ropita vastu sangaha tathaiva kutastha chidatmano me. 4 examples are given. See, look at the word yatha, 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 like. Just as the sun is the witness of all men's actions, just as fire burns everything without distinction, just as the rope is connected with a superimposition, so too am I, the unchangeable self, the essence of intelligence. The first line, which tells us that the sun, the witness aspect of the pure consciousness is highlighted. Each one is highlighting one aspect of the pure consciousness. So pure consciousness is, I told you, as long as there is something to be witnessed, there is something to be witnessed, that it is a witness. So like the sun is witnessing everything but is unaffected. So that is witness principle highlighted. The second line, manheryata, like fire, unbiased. Fire, even if a baby goes, the fire doesn't say, oh, this is a baby, I should not burn it. Fire is unbiased. Baby goes, animal goes, human goes, you put paper, you put wood, you put ghee, anything you put into fire, fire is going to, it is very unbiased. There's no partiality. So the unbiased nature of pure consciousness is highlighted in the second one. And rajor yatha ropita vastu sangha means like the rope who has got no connection, asangata highlighted, third line. So like the rope has got no connection with the snake, that way I have no connection with the world, and world includes body, mind, intellect. Once again, I'm telling you, because it is very, very easy to understand that, okay, everything beyond my body is world. That's very easy. But when the minute we say the body is also the world, then how come this is me? So in higher subtle thought is, no, body also belongs to the world. That's why it changes. Body changes. So these are practical tips for us, for spiritual seekers. Yeah, the realized master is already there, but we should be like the sun, we should be unbiased like the fire, and we should be untouched like the rope. This is the teaching for us. Okay, practical tips. All right, and attached to what? 3 things, right? People, objects, situations. These are the 3 things that attach us, get us attached. All right, so 3. Kartapi va karayitapi naham, bhoktapi va bhojayitapi naham, drashtapi va darshayitapi naham, soham swayam jyotirani drugatma. I am neither the doer, nor do I make others do anything. I am neither the experiencer, nor do I make others experience. I am neither the seer, nor do I make others see. The self I am, self-luminous and transcendent. chapter 2, verse 19 and verse 19. Nahanyamane sharire. The Atma doesn't kill itself. Question by Purupakshi is maybe the Atma doesn't kill anybody else, but maybe it can commit suicide. And the other thing is maybe Atma himself doesn't kill anybody, but he can have a hitman. You know, hitman. Okay, maybe Atma sends a hitman to kill somebody. Bhagwan says, no, Atma cannot kill itself and cannot send any hitman to kill anybody else. There is no death for Atma whatsoever, in whichever way. There is no loss. Avyaya, that's why. No loss. You know, in body which has parts, you can lose one eye, you can lose your hand, leg gets amputated, etc., etc. In Atma, there's no, this is what he says, Kartapi va karayitapi. Neither I do nor do I ask somebody else to do. This is what he's saying here. Bhoktapi, neither do I, bhoktrutva, I don't have myself, I'm not the enjoyer, and I don't make others enjoy or experience either, nothing. And neither am I the seer, nor do I make others see. The seer comes into play when there is something to be seen. This is from the highest standpoint, where he's pure conscious. There's nothing else to see. Only Advaita is there, only me. I see only me, that's it. And that's not from ego. Ego will also only me, but no, this is not from ego. This also, for those of you who are familiar with Nirvan Shatakam, this verse is related to that as well. Okay, so if you know the 6 verses, shlokas that Bhagavan Shankaracharya gave out, but this is na hanyate hanyamane sharire, 19, chapter 2, verse 19. Chalatyupadho pratibimba lolyam aupadikam mudhadiyo nayanti swabimba bhutam ravivat nishkriyam kartasmi bhoktasmi hatosmi heti. When the conditioning moves, fools attribute the resulting movement of the reflection to the object reflected, like the sun, which is devoid of activity, and they cry out, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am being killed, alas. In Ishavasya Upanishad, Atma is described as, other Upanishads also, moving, it moves not. Seeing, it sees not. Going, it is far, yet it is very close. So in the language of contradictions, this pure consciousness is explained. So chalati upad, so moving, it moves not. But when Upanishad says, what does it mean? Is Upanishad wrong? No, you appear, the body moves and you think that Atma is moving. So in space, think about it. I have my hand, now I am moving my hand in space because there is space. Okay, so my hand is here near my face and now it is near the camera. So it has moved. It has moved because of space. Has space moved? That is the point here. So what moved is the upadhi. The movement of the upadhi was facilitated by the fact that there was space. Same way, movement, karma is a movement. Karma or movement happens in consciousness, is facilitated by consciousness, but neither does consciousness move, nor does it do anything. Please understand this. That's why Upanishad always talks in the language of contradictions, because Upanishad Shruti does not want, we cannot understand pure consciousness through the intellect. The intellect only understands cause and effect in these type of language. Intellect understands, because when you say it's smallest of the small, oh, is it like a mustard seed? No, it's bigger than the biggest. Oh, then is it like Everest? So that concept should not happen in the intellect, that it is of this size, this shape, this thing. It is beyond conception. Beyond concept, Paramatma is. And therefore, these type of languages used. Understand, moving it, a very simple example, you drive your car to work or wherever, actually have you moved? You were just sitting. The driver was just sitting in the car. Okay. And now the driver is gone from place A to place B. So moving, it moves not. So the driver did not move and yet it moved. The driver yet moved. But who moved is the car. The upadhi moved, the driver did not move. So the driver is in the place of Atma and car is in the place of the body. So the body moves, but Atma, and the point is, where will Atma move? It is all pervading, like space. Where will space move? I could move my hand because there was space, but space has got nowhere to go. Space cannot go anywhere. If space only cannot go, what to talk about that Atma, which is even subtler than space? Aupadikam muda dhiyonayanti. So the fools, ignorant fools, think that Atma moves, Atma does. That's why even Bhagavan said, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Atma doesn't kill and doesn't get anybody else to. So Atma doesn't do and doesn't get anybody else to do either. Okay. Swabimba bhutam Ravi with nishkriyam, like the Ravi, like the sun, Atma is nishkriya, without any activity, like sun. Does the sun do any activity, good activity or bad activity which is happening? No. And then they cry out, oh, I'm the doer, I'm the enjoyer. That is the one whose discrimination between Chit and Chidabhasa is not perfected. They think they are the doer. And the one who thinks that he's the doer definitely will think that he's the enjoyer. I did and I'm enjoying. And they are the ignorant fools. This is what Bhagavan is saying. Jale vapi sthale vapi lutattvesha jadatmakaha naham vilipya tad dharmaihi gata dharmair na bhoyatha. Whether in water or on land, let this inert body drop down. I am untouched by its properties, like the sky is untouched by the properties of the jar. Sky here should be taken as space. The space inside the jar may be blue or black or maybe fat, maybe big, maybe small. Is the space inside getting affected by it? Is the space becoming blue because the jar is blue? No, it doesn't. Space doesn't get affected. Same way. So this body, in Hindu, we believe that if we go, there are some people when they're closer to death, they go and stay in Kashi because they say that at the last moment, Shivji gives the mantra and you go to heaven, etc., etc. Beliefs are there. But once you realize it, the realized master says this body has got nothing to do whether it falls in water, whether it falls in Kashi or Vancouver or Whistler or anywhere. What is going with you is what the karmas that we have done. That's why in chapter 8 and 14, chapter 8, Bhagavan says that the one who remembers me at the last moment, it doesn't say the one who is in Kashi and then the one who, no, he doesn't say like that. He says one, so wherever you are, if you remember me, but the point there is you will not remember Bhagwan if you have not remembered him throughout your life. And in chapter 14, he says, if the person is in a sattvic mode while dying, he will go to higher worlds, rajasic, middle worlds, and tamasic. But if all your life you've been tamasic, suddenly at the last moment, you cannot become sattvic. So that's why the indication is that all your life you remain sattvic, try to remain sattvic or try to remember the Lord so that at the last minute you will remember. And then it doesn't matter. So now he has realized, imagine, even like for spiritual seekers, if we can manage to think of Lord, Adhyatma Nitya, therefore Bhagavan said, if we can manage to remember the Lord throughout our life, maybe we have a chance. We don't know, we might go in a coma and die. We might die in our sleep. We don't know. But at least we have a chance that if we can think of him, then we might think of him at our last moment. Here, because he has realized, he says, I am one with him. Now whatever happens to the body, it's okay, let it happen. For us, we should, because we are still considering ourselves to be the body, so we must remember him. Kartrutva bhoktrutva khalatva mattata jadatva baddhatva vimuktatadayah buddher vikalpa natu santi vastutah swasmin pare brahmani kevaladvaye doership, enjoyership, cunning, drunkenness, dullness, bondage, and freedom. These passing states of the intellect are in reality never in the self, which is the supreme Brahman, absolute and non-dual. Okay, so whatever this, if you think you're doing, then you have fallen from Ishwaratva to Jivatva. I told you, for spiritual seekers, that is the trick. And that's why the first step is karma yoga. In karma yoga, doership is loosened, right? So this thought that I have, I am the doer, must be first loosened. It's very, very firm. We have firmly believed like that for lives and lives. So let's loosen it by saying, I am an instrument of the Lord. That is how it will get loosened. And then it needs to be annihilated. So as spiritual seekers, at least let us try to always remember, best thing I feel is, thank you, Lord, this thing happened. So you immediately bring the Lord in there somehow. I find it very easy. What is it? Something, I found something happened. Anything happens, I just say, thank you, Lord. Even when I go somewhere and I reach on time, I'm like, thank you, Lord, there was no traffic, there was no construction. Because it's the ego which thinks, see, I picked this route and I reached on time and we should not let the ego rule us like that. So the best way is to surrender. Anything happens, you say, thank you, Lord, because of you, there was no construction. Because of you, there was no traffic. Because of you, I could merge very well on the highway. In the beginning, it might be hypocritical. Let it be hypocritical. Then after some time, I was talking to her. She's a previous student of mine. Now she's very busy in her practice and all that. I was talking to her, and things happened in her life. And she said, then finally I said, thank God somebody up there is, I said, yeah, keep that thank God all the time now with you. Don't let go. Don't think that you did everything and it happened. She goes, no, I realized, oh my God, thank God I got saved from this situation. So that thank God, we must never forget. We must never forget God. Okay. So here it's a doership, cunning, whatever. All these are the dharmas of the body, mind, and intellect. Cunningness, doership, enjoyership is all belonging to the ego. Cunning, drunkenness is body gets drunk. Dullness, mind is dull. Bondage and freedom, where I think I'm bound, where I think I'm free. All this is got nothing to do with, because the self is ever free. I've told you this before. Even now we are the supreme reality. Okay, even now in our state of ignorance, we are that. It is, we are not going to become. It is, there's nothing to become. We are that right now. That we should remember. Santu vikaraha prakrutehe dashada shatada sahasrada vapi kim me asanga chittaha taihi na ghana kvachit ambaram sprashati. There's no meter for this. Let there be modifications in Prakriti in 10, 100 or 1,000 ways. What have I, unattached, knowledge absolute, got to do with them? The clouds can never touch the sky. So when he uses the word Prakriti, Prakriti means body. Prakriti, world, Ashtada Prakriti, chapter 7 Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said, there is me one, and there is this Ashtada Prakriti, my Ashtada Prakriti. Okay, so that Prakriti, which includes this entire world, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, everything is coming under Prakriti. Body, mind, intellect also coming under, Vasanas coming under the purview of Prakriti. There is only one Lord, one Om, everything underneath is Prakriti. And this Prakriti is millions of ways it modifies, right? We see modification in the weather, we see modification in the trees, we see modification in the body. How many things, mind, so how many times the mind changes? Chanchalam this thing, Arjun says, right? This mind is so fickle-minded, right? Minute to minute, mind is changing. We like somebody, then we don't like the same person, then we and the mind is harassing us, like it tortures us. So he says, let there be thousands of modifications. What has it got to do with me? I'm asanga, I'm unattached. So this is a thing when we get hurt as spiritual seekers, now that we know this, when we you see, when we are happy, you know what, then we are not agitated. But when we, this is what I find, when I'm hurt in my mind and things happen, that is the time to remember this. That is when we need to bring, when we, then what happens is we get hurt, then we get angry, then we say, I won't do this for him or her, or whatever that we say, then we or we are upset, you know. That's why they say when you're angry or whatever, count to 10. Upset, never write emails when you're upset, never talk to anybody when you're upset. Give yourself some time, breathe, give your time to breathe. Then next day things fall in a different perspective. And this is what helps, that I am asanga, I am unattached. So whatever is happening in my mind. I am not the mind. So remind yourself that I am not the body. Remind yourselves. That's why this hammering is going on. So much hammering, right? Not me, huh? Baba Bhagwan has done this, and you wouldn't want me to skip the verses, would you? If I would have said all these verses mean the same thing, let's just move on. So that is the reason that we remember. You have to remember it when it happens to you. Please do not remember it when it happens to somebody else. Then that is, you know, that is not good. Don't try to use it on yourself. Avyaktadi stula paryan, no. Avyaktadi, no. Avyaktat, avyaktaadi stula paryantametat vishwam yatra bhasamatram pratitam vyoma prakhyam sukshma madhyantahinam brahmatvadaitam brahmat daitam yat devahamasmi, that which the in which the entire universe, from the unmanifest down to the gross, appears as but a shadow, which is like the sky, subtle and without beginning and end. Indeed, that non-dual Brahman am I. So whatever is known, standing in the known becomes into the unknown. Okay. Avyakta till Sthura Paryantam means Avyakta is Hiranya Garbha. Total mind is Avyakta. Understand? So right from that which is, so if you take it at the individual level, right from the Vasana level, this is what is being told. That's why see in our chart, Om is above the Vasanas. Vasana is what is Avyakta. Okay? In the totality, it is then Hiranyagarbha, the total mind. So from that Avyakta down to perceiver, feeler, or observer, you know, straight down to all whatever is manifested, I am that non-dual Brahman. I am the one that is supporting all that. Even the Avyakta is supported by me. Vasana is also level supported by, because therefore Om is above the Vasa. Above means subtle. What is meant by above is subtle. That's what we see in chapter 15. Urdhva Moola Adha Shakam. Urdhva Moola, the root is above. Above means not physically above. The tree is not upside down, but the cause, the original cause of this world is that Brahman, which is subtle. This is what it says. Vishwam Yatra Abhasa Matram Pratitam. Vishwam, world. This is just a reflection of me. That's reflection is always an illusion, illusory. Vyoma Prakya, Vyoma space. Sky is this thing, but space, subtle and without beginning and end. Space is infinite. There is no beginning, there is no end for space. Brahman is even subtler than space. So that Brahman I am, and not this whole world that I see. Okay, I'll stop here today, and we'll start with 514 next time. Are there any questions? It's clear. These verses are to be meditated upon, to be read, to be thought about. and practice them in your life, like practical, because what the realized masters are saying is, yeah, is true and good and everything, but how do I bring it into my life? Okay, so in a small individual way, we can do it. We can try. We can try. And like I said, even in the beginning, if it feels hypocritical to say thank you, Lord, be a hypocrite. It's better to be a hypocrite and say thank you than be egoistic and say why I should say thank you, because I'm the one that did it. So why I should say thank you? Then what happens is it becomes a practice. It becomes a habit. So then those are those good habits that we should develop. And maybe someday we will pray that we all reach the goal. Okay. All right.